Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of the OHB Academy podcast. Myself here, Michael. We've got Jab here. But anyway, man, today we're just talking all things like Dubai. We just had an event that was a success. And yeah, it's been an abundant and good end to 2023. And we're about to get into 2024. So yeah, we're going to chop it up, man. I've got a list of topics and hopefully this will be really insightful for anyone who's an aspiring coach that wants to do it big, travel the world, grow their business and so on. So let's go, man. Let's go for it. How you feeling? Bro?
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, yeah, man. I'm actually ready to get back to running. I don't do well in the heat, so
Yeah.
when I'm in hot places, I just think of being in the cold, which I know most people want to get away from the cold, but I actually don't mind being in the cold, so
Vampire, fair enough.
but yeah, man, I'm rejuvenated because we've got some big changes coming and we've had a good couple of weeks just in terms of the event. I think that's the first thing we should
That's all I
really talk about and just recap. So for those of you that are watching this, you've probably been on our email list or seen our social media. We had an event. What was the date of it?
18th
18th. Yeah,
November.
so, wow. 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
Day before we left, or 3 days before we left.
Yeah, 3 days before we left to fly to Dubai, we had an event. And yeah, man, how would you rate the event?
I'd rate it as I'm not going to rate it a 10 just because I want to aspire to do more always. I'm going to say it's an 8. So really high. It's a really high rating, because I will also compare it. I like to compare it not against what everybody's doing, but what we did first. So we had an event in June. That was only 5 months before or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, for that to be our second one, it topped it, more than doubled the numbers. So yeah, man. What about yourself?
Yeah, I would say something similar. I think it was definitely successful. I don't think there was anybody that came to the event that didn't get something out of it. And for me, that's the measure. That's like the measure of success for me, because it's like, yeah, maybe, we could always do more numbers. We can always get more people. But when we do get the people in the room, are they leaving it thinking, wow, I just learned something I didn't know before. I can implement this. That's another thing, implementation. Because you go to events, there's a lot of fluff, man.
Fluff, yeah.
Go to a lot of events, there's bare fluff and it's like a lot of stuff that you can't even implement, or they don't give you, they gatekeep.
Yeah. And it's a lot of hype as well. It's like someone just pacing around the stage, like hyping you up for a bit, which I get sometimes can be beneficial, but
yeah,
actionable steps, gems, things you didn't know before. I think that would class as a successful event.
That our guest speakers added to that.
100%.
So we had 4 guest speakers, Danny Allen Page, Maya, who's an online coach for women's coach. Maya, sorry. Maya. Damien Scannell, Super Dad, and Shadi, who's a strategist for influencers. So like all 4 people, all doing online work, have online businesses, making 6 figures a year, were able to implement and give away some of their strategies and what they do. So it wasn't just us, and I think that also adds to it, because if it's just us, sometimes people get a bit bored of hearing us. Like, that's fair. Like sometimes adding other people that actually say similar things to what we say reinforces our points and lets people know that, hey, we're not just making this shit up, basically, which is important, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was an experience, man. That's the best way to explain it. It wasn't even just a normal event. It was a whole experience. And I think what we kind of fell into is that some people do events just for their clients. Some people do events for non-clients, and then it's like too salesy. And we just kind of met in the middle, and we've been able to create a whole experience. And we've got a lot of really good feedback. Do you know what I mean? The first one was good feedback as well, but this one was everyone was just left empowered, man. It's just a feeling to it. Do you know what I mean? So that's definitely what I would say. And we've definitely got a surprise that I'm going to unveil, which is we will be coming up north. Yeah. We're going to come everywhere. We're going to come all over the world, right? Remember I said that. Yeah, hold me to it. America, Dubai, other parts of Europe, whatever. We're going to be flying around, but we are going to be going north because we've had a lot of requests since we've been set up to come up north. So if you're in Birmingham, Manchester, Scotland, whatever, we've got something a bit closer for you soon. All right, cool. Now let's address it. You see us, you see the backdrop. It could have been better, but angles,
the
camera.
sun is coming from here, so
we got to show you. But we'll show you. Maybe we'll do some sort of B-roll of Dubai. But we're in Dubai. It's Jarvis, your first time in Dubai. I'm gonna let you kick it off and just, yeah, man. We're gonna talk about like things that we've learned, whether you'd move, which is always the big question, and let's go from there, man.
boom. So yes, come to Dubai. We're like towards the end of our trip now. Just sorting out some business and work stuff, but also networking, man. And this reminded me of the power of traveling, because I could stay inside my house all day. I could not leave my house and I would not be bothered. But it is good to get out there and do stuff. And we went to, what was the show?
Muscle Show.
We went to the Muscle Show Expo, like big names there, James Smith, Chris Williamson, Ulysses, our own client, Elton, like there were some huge hitters there. And we really just got to meet
Coleman,
people. Ronnie Coleman was there, yeah, like, there was
Larry,
not Larry Wills. Phil Heath was there. No, Larry's weren't there. Phil Heath was there. There was a big names, man. Like loads of big names in the bodybuilding world. There was a CrossFit competition. There was a calisthenics competition. There was like bare stuff going on. And for me, that was like the first time I've been to Expo. Was that the first time you've been to Expo?
No, I've been to Expo, but not fitness. Nah, not
okay.
Fitness.
So you ain't been to a bodybuilder Expo?
Nah, nothing like that.
So that was both our first like fitness expo. And like for me, it was more like eye-opening. It made me remember, I've always been ambitious, but it made me remember, oh yeah, okay, yeah, like we can make something out of this. Like there's more for us, whether we do fitness or mentoring or consulting, there's more. And that's what I kind of told anyone that's on our email list and our clients is like, we talk about 5K, yeah? But the reality is, I want you to think 100K, you know, or 1 million a year, 83K a year. Like, have that ambition, like, because if you don't move with that level of drive, you're not even going to get to the 50K. That's going to be hard. So, like, that's one thing, man. I would say just open my mind up to, let's get back on the ball, what we want to achieve, man.
Yeah, and what else have you learned then? Let's keep it rolling for that. Any, like, 2 more things that you've learned?
I think the second thing, and I put this in an email, is that like a lot of these guys, a lot of these big hitters, they're not special in the sense that they ain't got no magic juice going through their blood or anything like that. And I ain't talking about like steroids. I just mean like they're just normal human beings, man. But they have clarity and they're consistent. So I look at someone like James Smith here talking to people. He wasn't the way he is now at the start. He made a lot of videos before it popped off. He did a lot of content before it popped off. And now he's where he is because of just volume and effort and quality and continuing to improve every step. But he's still a normal human being. I see him, he's not that tall, he's not that muscular, like he's a normal guy. So that just reminds me, okay, we just got to keep plugging away. So stop always thinking that the world's against you. That's one thing. The world's not against you, man. It can be for you or it can be against you. It's down to you to decide which way you want the world to work. And then I'll say the last thing I learned is just how big the fitness industry really is.
100%.
It's a multi-billion pound industry, bro. So I think that sometimes we get a little bit, we're in London or in the UK and PT and I work in Pure Gym or it's like sometimes we get a little bit stuck in that.
Yep.
It isn't until you travel and you see what fitness can do, you're like, okay, yeah, shit. It's not just PT, it's not just sitting on the gym floor anymore. It's bigger than that.
Yeah, just that thinking big, right? Thinking that big, because it's interesting what that expo done is it grouped it all together. Yeah. So I've always, in London, I think I'm looking at it separate, like I'm a PT and that's just that. You know, you're just a PT, you just got to make that work. Whereas when you go to that expo and you see it all grouped in together and intertwined, then you see that, oh no, like I can kind of like use this and do a bit of this and just fly and thrive in general. You know, I can, collaborate all together, right? Obviously, you might want to master one thing first, put more focus, but you can use just all the different aspects to grow, right? You might partner with a supplement company to, do or whatever, a draw or a giveaway.
What were some of the things that you saw that were like not directly about coaching? Because I was just thinking about a few that I see now. Like whether it's like technology, softwares, even like, there was the one with the bungee. Did you see the people jumping around with the bouncy thing on their feet? and it was like some ladies' company.
I've seen
You
that
didn't see it?
before, and I didn't
Can't
see
remember
that
the name
there.
of it, but
I
yeah.
saw one where they was using the little sticks. They had
Oh, that too. Yeah.
I see that. I see that.
That was one. Yeah, that's one thing.
I think I can't really pinpoint it to one thing, but it just reminded me that all the technology and all that those aspects of the fitness, whether it be like stuff to do with recovery, whether it's to do like softwares to help you with your training or delivery, whether it be whatever, right? All those things you can just use. It's like the only way I can kind of think of it now is like wrestling back in the day, WWE, yeah? And just remember how wrestling was different, because there might be you might be playing SmackDown versus Raw, right? WWE. And like you can just grab a chair from underneath the thing, a sledgehammer. It was so dumb, but it just showed that you could use different things, different tools to get the same goal, which is to, pin this guy down and win, right? Pause. But it's the same. It kind of gave me that sort of feeling as well with the fitness, that you could basically, you got one goal, but you can call and you can use upon and collaborate with different technology, software companies, people within like different spaces to get to that same goal. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Different ways to skin a cat.
Different ways to skin a cat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some other things that I just learned in the bar, I made a video about this as well, so I'll breeze through it, is really, I say networking. I'm saying that networking is I've always known it's beneficial, but in UK, it don't feel as useful or important. It doesn't feel as much as a priority, right? And I think that's because the nature is that most people aren't really meeting up as much anyway. Everyone's kind of cooped up, as you said, and indoors, and maybe they're just going on dates, and it's not as much networking going on, not as much events and everything like that, which I think is something we may even call it, just to dive into more. But over here, it made me realize why making it a priority, even if you are in the UK, is so big. You know what I mean? So just making it a priority to find out where all these different events are, go there, network, talk to people, meet up with people that you might have just spoke to on Instagram. Because here, where you do it so quick and in real time, it shows you how quick you can move in life, how fast you can move. But where in UK or wherever, if you're cooped up, you'll just be going, you've got one plan, it involves only you, and that's just that, right? And you're working at it. And maybe you're thinking, it's going to take me a year to do this. Whereas when you're networking, you're meeting people, you're moving fast, you might meet this person, they might tell you a whole different way of doing this thing that just slashes your time in 3 months. Maybe they work with you, maybe you get an invest, whatever, right? So that's the big thing for me, networking. And also, like you said, like traveling, man, it's so important to travel, not just because of the other points, but also because of like energy. And I'm big on it, man. And I'm always grilling our clients and our members about it, but it's for good reason. If you ain't got that winning energy, that winner's energy, that positive mindset, how do you really expect to win? Like, when's the last time you met someone overly successful and they were just grumpy, angry, moaning about the little things in life? Like, you don't really get that, right? So energy is big, man.
I think just in Dubai, like, the energy is different, and everyone's like, I think they realize how much of the opportunity there is in life, and they're not gatekeeping. I think a big part of, like, I don't know if it's a UK thing, if it's a British mentality thing, but there's a lot of gatekeepers in England. Like, you meet people that maybe they're semi-successful and there's not that openness to share.
Nah.
But over here, it's like, people will sit and have a quick convo with you and share what they're doing, how they do it, And I just think maybe it's just being outside of that environment, because you might speak to someone who's from the UK, but they're here and they're more open-minded. So I don't think it's necessarily a UK thing. Maybe it's just, it's not necessarily like a cultural thing. It might just be like, I don't know, something about being in England, man. The weather, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think, look, without doing too much and getting into politics over our video views, I think it's just the overall message and feeling that gets passed on in that country and countries like that. That is just overall, like, cost of living and
it's a lot of scarcity.
Scarcity.
A lot of scarcity.
You know what I mean?
That's why people are scared to invest.
Crime's on the rise.
Yeah,
this, everything.
You're worried about everything.
It's a very fearful mentality. Whereas here, one thing they've done amazingly, is going to lead me to my next question for you as well. A topic is, they've really removed that element of fear.
I mean, there's no crime, bro.
There's no crime. Like, I heard Steve Harvey talk about this literally, like Dubai is one, or the Emirates is one of his favorite places to be because there's no crime. Like you can walk around with whatever he wants, whatever, drive whatever. There's no crime. So I think because they've removed the element of fear, maybe fear is this whole contagious thing that stops so much things happening.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so that leads me to the big question: like, would you move to Dubai?
Would I? Yes, I would. 100%. I would move to Dubai. I still prefer Thailand, but I would move to Dubai 100%, man.
Why?
Obviously,
Why Thailand?
Tax purposes, pretty obvious. Not gonna lie about that. Plus, like again, we're not gonna get into politics, but I don't know where my tax money is going in the UK anyway, bro. Like, where is my tax money going? So, tax, lifestyle, quality of living is definitely better here. Crime, like I've had my car broken into twice in the last year. To this trip, I've left my laptop in the car. I've left my phone in the car, left my wallet in the car.
No sweat. Like,
I ain't even worried.
No worries.
But you know, I still got the UK mentality. So I went to take it and I was like, actually, no, I'll be all right. I left it in there. So crime, lifestyle, there's a lot going on. There's always something to do. Like, not that I'm not really that outgoing anyway, but there's still a lot to do if I want to do stuff, which is always important. We're social beings at the end of the day. Yeah, man, I just think there's abundance of opportunity. So I think if you want to build a business, even if you haven't got a business yet, but you can afford to live out here, like, and you wanted to build a business, this would be a great place to get started. So that's one thing.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So yeah, I would definitely move out here. If I'd never been to Thailand and I came here first, I'd probably just say I'd come out here.
You're trying to say I need to go to Thailand.
You got to visit Thailand first, and then you can compare.
Yeah. That's on the list of things to do then. Yeah, because me, like I said earlier, I came here first time in 2019 and I knew that, you know, I feel like I want to move here. I think a big reason was because I've got family here and I got to spend time with them and see the whole quality of living. I think if I had just come and met mates and done all that party and stuff, then I wouldn't have had that same feeling. But because I saw what quality of life was like, and that's a big point for me because that's something I really prioritize, man. So that's in the cards. That's definitely something I'm going to be working on.
And you know what? One thing, like, historically, melanated skin, we're not supposed to be in cold weather, bro. Like, we're actually not supposed to be in cold weather. Like, our skin is designed for this kind of weather. So it's good for you to actually be in a hot place. That's where we're designed to be. So even just from a holistic standpoint, like, this is actually the kind of weather that Black Africans, this is where we're supposed to be, man. And I'm just to keep it real, like.
Yeah. Even Asians as well. I guess they got more melanin as well. But that's what the interesting thing about that is that's what online is about. I was saying is that flexibility to be able to work from everywhere. And look, some of you might not have that ability to move. Maybe mentally you just feel like you don't have that ability because let's be honest, if you've got like 3 kids, it's not as easy and quick and simple to move,
hop
right?
on a plane and bounce.
The ability to be able to travel, maybe spend some time in other places, make sure your kids visit these places, get out of the country at least every quarter, at the very least, you know what I mean? That's still powerful as well. So that's a reason to really build your online business and get to see these different places as well, because you would never know, do you know what I mean? Obviously now you get to watch videos and hear us say it, but you would never get to see it for yourself. So it's really important, man, to just really grow that business that can allow you to travel the world and still make money so you're not capped. All right? So that's Dubai, man. I think that's the wrap up of Dubai. It's been a beautiful trip. We'll be here quite often anyway. And, you know, yeah. But what we want to talk about just now is 2024. Yeah? Like, what's the plans? What you think in 2024? Anything we can reveal, anything we can't reveal? What's your feelings about 2024? Because round the corner, man.
Well, I think the big thing now in 2024 is I think coaches need to start thinking about the next steps that they're going to take in their life. And when I say that, a lot of us are thinking about one way of doing things. And I think what this trip has revealed to me is there's more than one way to do things. And, you know, I think the days of just focusing on, I mean, you should still focus on one thing at a time, but I mean, just trying to, being rigid in your approach needs to change. And I think that there needs to be some flexibility. So we're going to be incorporating that, and also setting up things in a way that suit your lifestyle. Because, you know, everyone has flaws. Everything we do, there's always a flaw in it. There's something we can optimize. So this time away is also giving us time to see there's things that we need to optimize big time, which is good, because that's the whole point of this game, right? Growth. So 2024, big thing is having an offer for multiple levels, because we recognize there's people that can't always afford to work with us, right? So that's the flexibility there. But also having another offer that's for people that maybe are a few bit further down the line, but they don't know how to make money. And that's another challenge. Like, you got the following and the audience, but you don't know how to make money. That's a different challenge in itself. So we want to cater to more people, basically. We don't just want to cater for one person. So putting that in place. And then from a coach's perspective, I think coaches, if there was anything I would say you guys should be working on for the next 6 months is that personal branding, man. Like, really work on that personal branding. Analyze the competition. If someone else is doing it, you can do it. So make efforts to improve the content. Make some long form videos, YouTube, podcasts, whatever suits your boat. Like, start building that brand, man. Because if you don't, I genuinely feel if you refuse to do it, you are getting left behind. All the money is getting eaten up by other coaches that are doing it. So you have to start thinking about it and overcome those limiting beliefs and fears.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I think I'll let you, your roundup of 2024, our plans, what coaches should be doing. I'll let that stand because I agree with all of that, to be honest with you. I'll just touch on December, all right? Because, we like to give you insights in real time. And before 2024, there's still 1 month. We're actually now in that month, depending on when you see this. But for December, I think it ties in with my biggest lesson I'm learning from being out here and that I want to share with you, which is just on the mindset side of things, is you need to work on your shit, man. You need to work on your shit. And when I say shit, I literally mean your shit. I think everybody comes into business with a bunch of shit. Like, imagine you're carrying a load of crap around, right? And it's keeping people from wanting to meet and talk to you because you're literally carrying shit. It smells. It's stopping you from going fast because you can't accelerate fast when you're holding this thing, right? That, might spill or whatever. So it's a nasty analogy. But the truth of the matter is a lot of you are carrying shit, and it don't matter what mentor you sign up to, what strategy you try, whatever, it's always going to pull you back. So I think self-development and self-analysis, like looking at what limiting beliefs you have, that was a big part of Damo's talk, or you might reveal to our YouTube if you don't ask for it, Damien Scannell, his talk at our event. But yeah, like your limiting beliefs, maybe like you think you're bad with tech, all these things get passed as just normal little things that people just say, but they're actually holding you back and stopping you making, hundreds of thousands of pounds, really and truly.
And it's bullshit, really.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Like, like the excuses people make to themselves, all of it is bullshit. Like, it's all in their head.
But you don't realize it is at the time because it's so normal and everyone else around you is using the same bullshit language. So you need to tackle that in December so that you can smash it on a bunch of different levels.
And that's another thing. I know I don't want to waffle on too much, but that's, again, the importance of the travel side is the environment thing. Because if you are a coach and you're just surrounded by other coaches who are just as broke as you are, then how the hell are you? You're not gonna level up. Which is why the internet is such a powerful thing, because it gives you an opportunity to be around coaches that are maybe a little bit higher without physically being there. You're not limited to having to be there physically. So, if you're in our group chat, you'll see people posting wins and stuff, and that should inspire you. Whereas if you're just stuck on the gym floor and you're just talking to James and, okay, I got a client in an hour, like, you're not in that leveling up mindset. Like,
you don't realize how small you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta get out and talk, man. You gotta get out and chat to people and network and be around different energies and give yourself a bit of an energy check, right? Are you exuding weak energy, weak-ass energy, using that shitty language, like, oh, same shit, different day, or, I'm just, not too bad. And are you using that shitty language and carrying that energy, or are you on superhero time? Like, literally, I'm gonna make like 7 figures, 6 figures next year. I've got this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna accelerate this. I'm gonna move with no hesitation. You gotta check yourself. So that's that's always priority. But in December, definitely. And the reason why that's so relevant to December is because the months like this, they F it up they F up PTs and coaches, because you get those objections of, it's Christmas, I've got to spend on the gifts and blah, blah, blah. So if you already have weak energy, then you're going to write off the whole month and think that, no one already have money to spend,
in December.
blah, blah, blah. So you're finished. if you do that, right? If you have that strong energy, you're going to attract people with that same energy that, nah, man, I want to get started before 2024. Now, I can afford to do this. Yeah, cool. I knew there was going to be flipping gifts in Christmas from years from time ago. So I'm still going to invest in this, right? So yeah, keep pushing hard in December. Start getting people ready. Take deposits as well. So, you know, don't leave money on the table is the big thing. So if someone really doesn't have it, then take a deposit, get them to start in January, man. And with that being said, I hope this episode has been useful because we sweated out in the sun to give it to you. You can probably see us sweating, yeah? But, you know, we're here to kind of give you that value, man. Any bits you want to leave on?
No, that's it, man. That's it.
Peace, love. We'll be back. Boom.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, by the way.
All of that.
Boom, boom, boom.